Hello, this is Aaron Turner with another meditation from Psalm 23. This morning I have been meditating on verse 4, which says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." As we've noted before, in this psalm, David is using the metaphor of a shepherd leading his sheep to illustrate his relationship with the Lord. In the previous verse, he said that his shepherd leads him in the paths of righteousness. But notice the places through which these paths of righteousness go. They go through green pastures in verse 1. They go beside still waters in verse 1. They go through the valley of death in verse 4. They go into the presence of his enemies in verse 5, but they end up in the house of the Lord in verse 6. The point is, as we follow our shepherd down the paths of righteousness, we're going to go through many different places. We're not always going to be in the green pastures. Sometimes we're going to be in the valley of death. Sometimes we're going to find ourselves in the presence of our enemies. But there's one constant: the presence of the Lord. In this meditation, I want to break down this verse into a few sections and make some observations about each one. The first phrase is, "Yea, though I walk." Walk. He doesn't feel the need to run, but calmly continues to walk. And then notice this phrase, "through the valley of the shadow of death." A valley is generally considered a low place in life, or sometimes a difficult place in life. I think David is referring to the many times in his life when he came close to death. He fought many battles, and obviously in those battles came close to death many times. Many times Saul tried to kill him. But I like the fact that he used the word "through," meaning that he doesn't stay there. That is not his final destination. But while he is there, he goes on to say, "I will fear no evil." He makes a conscious choice not to be afraid. But what if he actually dies? Even if he dies, no evil is going to come upon him. Rather, he's going to end up in the house of the Lord forever. But notice why he says he's not going to fear evil. "For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." The reason he's not going to fear is because the shepherd is with him, and the shepherd is comforting him. The rod and the staff are one and the same. It's what the shepherd uses to control or rule over the flock. When we're walking through the valley of the shadow of death, it is wonderful to know that the sovereign ruler of the universe is walking with us, and he is in total control. Every one of us are going to go through this valley one of these days, and it's wonderful to realize that if we're trusting the Lord as our shepherd, we will not need to fear, for we will not be alone. If you'd like to know how to be sure that he is your shepherd, please reach out to me through the link below or private message me. I would be honored to share that information with you. Thank you for listening.